What's up, guys? It's Shino Podcast here with another video. You got me, David the Smash Fan.
Japonia, what's up, guys?
And it is time to talk about the worst adaptation ever of a successful first season anime. And this is the Promised Neverland Season 2.
Oh boy.
I don't even know where to begin with this. So, I mean, the first season left it off in such a great note, right? We got all this detail, was this thriller, this suspense, this mystery about what is going on in Gracefield, and we get this great escape from the kids, and we don't know the fate of Norman at the end of season 1. Everything's just up in the air. We just know that they're free, they're out of Gracefield, and they're gonna have to conquer whatever is outside in the forest. And the studio, the producers, whoever it was, they all decided that it was a great idea to adapt more than 180 chapters into not even 12 episodes, 11 episodes.
Wait, not even that. Let's say 5 to 6 episodes. Because basically after episode 4 or 5, which was a recap, the remaining episodes to episode 11 were just a way to wrap everything up.
Yeah, and I honestly I don't know what to say about this. Like, we wanted to have this video just to discuss what went wrong, what people who have never read the manga, like, what they're feeling. And because, like, okay, if it's one thing, like, if you rush things to make an ending, there's still a way, like, even though you don't adapt the source material, that it's done in a way that people who have never read it are satisfied with the ending. They're satisfied with the way it was done, because even though it was original ending, it just works. It may not be the best, right? It may not be the best, it may not be like that, but at least it works in the story that they've done. But ever since the beginning of season 2, people have complained about this. People that have just watched the anime, people complain about how the pacing is weird. Like, even from the second episode, even though if you've never read the manga, you kind of feel like, what is going on here? Why does it feel weirdly slow and then fast at the same time? Why is it after, I think it was episode 5, that all of a sudden a year passes? Like, they don't even mention it, but all of a sudden the kids look different, Emma looks different, all that they're growing taller, and there's this time skip that doesn't make any sense. There's no sense of change. I'm not even saying, hey, we went past a year. You could tell that things are missing, that there are storylines that maybe they wanted to try but they never did, and there's remnants of that in, like, when they find the bunker. And then we'll get to the ending, we'll talk about that later in this video. But I got to episode 6, I believe, and I just couldn't anymore. I was getting fed up with it because I had read the manga. I think Japoran got only to episode 4, like you said, right? And then you stopped.
Well, a little background of me, like, I actually read the manga as well too. And to be honest, once I finished reading the manga, I was like, okay, that's an ending. I wasn't like very like, oh, this is the best ending ever, but it was an ending, and I was okay with it. And when the anime came, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start watching it. I think it's going to be okay. I think they're gonna adapt it, even though I don't feel like watching it because I know what happens. But then, as I started watching the first couple of episodes, and after they got to the recap, and then once they get into the bunker, that's where you're starting to see the change. And this is like, I was a bit worried, and I was like kind of surprised at the same time because it's something unexpected. And I feel like, oh, maybe they'll do something more original. Maybe they'll finish or adding a little more extra scenes. But nope, they decided to start rushing things and trying to bring in things to a particular end, and that's where I just decided to stop. I don't think it was going right. I don't think it was delivering what it was supposed to. And the fact, I guess we're talking about, with a spoiler warning to people that have not seen it, or at this particular point, people have. The fact that you meet Norman halfway through the story so soon, it was a shock to a lot of people. It was a shock to me. and a lot of people on the internet being able to see that. But then having the chance to watch, I just stopped watching, and then I decided to watch the last episode. I was thinking, maybe they'll end season 2 just on a high note, just to make sure that they prepare for the next season or whatnot. And I even talked to people online and they told me, yeah, hopefully they do something better. So I was hoping, my idea was that there was going to be another. And when I watched the episode, that's when I figured out that that was not the case. And one could say, before we get into the ending, that maybe they need to adapt, to catch up with the manga or to follow something else or trying to bring another story idea. But the fact that the manga already ended quite a while ago, that they had time to adapt this into an anime and not showing what else, sounds very fishy to me. Yeah, and that's why I found it very fishy, very confusing, and that's what we talk and decided to talk a little bit more about this, because I know I'm not the only one. I know David's not the only one. I know a lot of people are complaining about this ending, which was not expected.
Yeah, there were these signs. Okay, first of all, it was I think it was 2 years, 2.5, maybe 3 years. I can't remember how long. It's been a while before they did the second season. It was a little bit longer. Maybe it wasn't maybe it was 2 years. And again, because everything that happened in the world, I'm also probably stopped the production of it. But but that would have given them time to polish and be like, okay, well, if we are gonna go a new direction, how are we gonna do this? What are we gonna change? And there's talks about that too. Even the mangaka or one of the not the mangaka, but maybe the story board artist of the original manga was like, yeah, we're gonna work on this too. We're gonna give our seal of approval and tell a different way. And those type of things in the early developments of the second season gave me hope to think you know what, if they're working on it, they might want to tell a different way. Because in the manga, the way I've told Japoria and I've told other people is that they wrote themselves into a corner. The mangaka wrote himself into a corner where it was going to be an ending that isn't going to be very satisfying, because there was no way to do it, in my opinion. Because we can't go into all the great details into what could have happened, what he could have done, but the fact, and we're going to spoilers in the manga, so if you don't want to know about the manga, you can skip this and skip maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But in the manga, we have Emma, who, and this doesn't happen anything in the anime, who makes a contract with the god or deity of the demons to basically have, and this is to have all the kids, not just people in Grace, but all the kids that are in these farms to be sent to the human world. And in exchange for that, she gives up her family in the way that she loses her memory. And when she gets transported, she's in a different place, and she's found from this old guy. And the ending, it ends with her meeting her family again, but she doesn't know them. But she feels something, some sort of resemblance that she lost something, that this is finding something back, even though she doesn't remember. So, and a lot of people were kind of upset with that, because we thought that the sacrifice was going to be something bigger, or it was going to be, or maybe the sacrifice was her way of what's the word, my mind just went blank, of fooling, or somehow getting the best of the deity and basically saying, oh, I have sacrifice, but this sacrifice is not going to happen this way, and they all live happily ever. If she outwitted him, something like that. I don't know what people were expecting, but the way that it was written before, it had to have been a sacrifice. There was no way, there wasn't going to be a happy ending, and this was kind of they met in the middle way, that it was a sacrifice, but not really, because they all got what they wanted. And so that was the manga ending, right? That's what it was. There was no big sacrifice. There was, but not really. And the anime did everything wrong in the ending. Japorion, just Tell us, what did they do?
Yeah, I mean, there are things to talk about this. I mean, I can see it seems like they completely overlook many arcs in the manga. Of course, it first started with being able to find the other kids that were trying to survive, being able to have other antagonists as well, and even having Norman, become a little bit older and wiser, and also his mentality of also trying to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you don't see this in the anime adaptation.
No, you don't.
And so they basically cut everything, kept maybe some of the minus, like the part in which wasn't what's the name of the guy with the long hair? I don't remember his name at the moment. The guy who commits suicide. That's the part that's accurate for sure. It's
Ratri?
Yeah, Ratri. But the fact that get me the most, which was a shocking thing to see, is one, that Mama is there for sure. The Mama helps her along with a group of people, and the Mama gets to go to the real world with them. Which people have read the manga and know what actually happens. In the manga, he actually sacrificed himself in order to save Emma and the kids, which was a whole contrast. It's a whole different change. And as soon as I saw that, it's like, wait, this is not right. Some of the kids decided to go. Emma decides to stay for some reason, which didn't make any sense. It seems like the promise was made, I don't know to whom, because I actually skipped that part of the anime. So, felt very incomplete.
Let me stop you there for just a second, because this is the weird part, and this is what's overlooked. So at that point when she leaves the kids and she stays behind with Norman and Ray, you see not even like animated clips. You just see basically a montage of pictures of what they did. And at one point you do see her. It looks like she's in front of that deity of the demon and something else up behind him. It's very weird.
They make a promise.
Yeah, and so there's no actual contract made. I don't know what is done because there's no context to it. Nothing is said. We just see that and you're like, it's like a little wink, hey, look, we read the manga. You remember this guy? But there's nothing to it. And the whole point of them staying behind was to help liberate all the other kids and get them out of the farms and go into the real world, which is weird because, again, that's not in the manga. The manga was everyone was transported basically back to the human world, and there was this whole coup d'etat that happens with the demons, and that part is just completely just outdone. It's not even in there. Yeah, it's overlooked. It's not even part of it, and that was a big thing. Because the whole point of why the demons are hunting the kids is because they don't want to regress back to animals. And so they saw by eating the humans that they can keep their cognitive abilities and keep progressing their race. That was the big thing. And that's why Emma was I don't want to kill these guys. I see, and there's a way for them to keep that progression going without having to eat the kids. And what's her name? Mijuka? I can't remember her name, but that demon.
Oh, Mijuka?
Yeah, she also has a even bigger role in the manga, and that's not touched at in the anime.
Overlook.
Yeah, and it's
yeah. And something that kind of pissed me off as well, in the particular montage, apart from Emma doing everything they can to save the world in maybe 5, maybe less than a minute. There is a clip in which you see Emma and Mizuka being really close to each other. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think it was it was normal, but a lot of people took it as, okay, are they trying to ship them together? Are they trying to hit something here and there? In that little clip, and if you actually were to watch it, you probably might question, what was the point of doing that?
Oh, when they're holding their hands,
it felt
this?
wrong. It felt. Yeah, and they were embracing. No, not embracing, but they were holding hands and looking at each other. It looked very romantic. So I was like, "What is going on?" And the fact that at the end, you see, her, Emma, and the group coming back together, like nothing ever happened. Hey, what's up? We're here. We're back into a family, and there is no struggle. There is no evidence of what kind of promise they had to make. That I guess their new promise they had to make, because apparently they did, but I guess it didn't matter. it felt very rushed, incomplete, lost. They didn't keep the essence of this particular manga, which, to be told, I think this year or last year, it was among the top 6 mangas in back in Japan, like I mean, on Demon Slayer and all that kind of stuff. So people have read it, people know about it. And the fact that the anime did not deliver, and even removed some credit in the opening credits for some of the people that work in the original story, does tell you a lot, and it has become a big disappointment when it comes to anime storytelling and also to the original mangaka on this story.
Yeah, it is a travesty because they had so many things going for them. Like the first season was phenomenal. They had so much story. They could have done this for years, right? The whole Goldie Pond arc, that would have been a whole season by itself, and that would have shifted the type of show you're watching, because the first season was like mystery, suspense, and the second season could have been just the Goldie Pond arc, and that would have been more action and a little bit more thriller, because now you're understanding how dangerous the demons are. Before it was Mama, but now you're seeing what the demons truly are capable of, and how the kids, how they've grown, and how they can, defeat the demons, and how they have allies. Like they could have done so many things. And the fact that they decided to just say, you know what, screw it, let's just finish it all in 11 episodes and call it done is horrible. I just can't believe that they did that. And here's the thing. If you're just watching the anime, I'm still pretty sure that you will see this and know that this is not the follow-up that you were expecting. You were not expecting to have Norman show up so early, because the loss of him is not, you don't really feel it. The whole thing with Isabella, with Mama, like her redemption just doesn't feel adequate. Doesn't feel that it's earned.
Yeah, I feel like everything that they were trying to set up for season 1 was completely through the window as soon as they decided to bring and change this story into season 2, and that is definitely a big disappointment for a lot of people and for individuals who really, like I said, I did enjoy it. I didn't like the proper ending on the manga, but still, I felt like they should still be respectful for all the many challenges and changes that all these characters had to go through during this particular arc, because I think it's very important for character development from Emma, from Ray, and even Norman when he appears as an older version of himself, and also being able to see how much it has affected him and what he needed to do in order to make that particular change to establish peace. But yeah, it feels like all of that was completely overlooked. I'm still trying to figure out as to why. I still don't understand, but it is definitely one of the biggest disappointments of this decade so far.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: they have no excuse. Like, okay, you know me. I've always ragged on the Full Metal Alchemist, the original one, because of the directions and what decisions they made for the story and the original ending. But they have an excuse. The manga was nowhere near done. They had already caught up to where it was, and so they're like, well, we have to come up with something, right? So they have a pass. They tried something. A lot of people liked it. I'm one of the few that don't. Or maybe there's more people that don't like it but not as vocal. Doesn't matter. But there was still, they came up with something on their own. This one, they had no excuse. They had time. They had the fan base. They had the popularity. And they just decided to drop it. And it's just... I feel bad. Because it just did not deserve this. The first season was so great. The story was so good. You can think about the ending however you like. I say that it's probably the best, and they could have gone with the way that it was written, because it just was not going to be a good ending to satisfy everyone if with Emma's thought process and versus the sacrifices that need to be made. That was my whole thing when I was reading the manga.
And not to mention, they had the time. Like, I think that's very important to specify, right? If they said that this story was not going well, let's just maybe show 6 episodes for the second season, and then maybe come back and try to fix the mistakes. But no, they decided to rush it. I'm still trying to figure out why. I'm trying to figure things out, but I think a lot of people are gonna be questioning this quite a lot. Now, my question to you: you know what happened with previous animes and mangas that they have been able to be a big mistake, but later on they were able to get a revival. If they were to make the Promise of Neverland again, like all complete, would you still be able to watch it, or do you still are completely done with this whole franchise?
I would love to see it done, and to be like, you know what? So I would hope that they would give it the Blue Exorcist treatment. So Blue Exorcist adapted like the manga, the first half of the series, and then the second half they did something completely different. And so when they came back with the Kyoto arc, no, was it Kyoto arc? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's Kyoto arc. They basically said that second half of that first season didn't exist, and they went through and just adapted what happened in the manga. So that was really cool. So I'm hoping that they do this, because I don't think they should touch the first season. I think the first season was done so well that should be kept, and that they should make a Promised Land season 2 called the Goldie Pond arc, something like that, and just name it that. Name the Goldie Pond arc, then name it I forget what the next one, the Lambda arc, and then the final one, the final arc, whatever. And so I think they should do it that way. That way everything's corrected. This season they just can throw away, no one has to think about it ever again. That's what I'm hoping that they do. I hope this creates enough buzz and enough anger to have the producers say, okay, yeah, we guffed up, let us redo this. And I'm pretty sure the fan base would be more than happy to see this animated the proper way.
Yeah, I think so too. Although, like I said, I wasn't too happy with the original ending, on the manga ending. I'm referring to that, but I think, out of respect, I think they should do it properly, so people will be able to see what they were missing. I mean, of course, if people want to know more, they can always read the manga as well. But being able to have it in the animated version, I think that will be very important for the non-manga readers, so people who really like just watching the anime, either dub or sub. But I do wonder what they're gonna do, especially when it comes to the dubbing. I don't follow that, but I do wonder how they're gonna try to end it, or will they change some of the dialogue just to reflect, or to try to have a proper ending on that? I don't know, but
I don't know. The dubbing,
I guess
the broadcast starts April 10th on Toonami. So those who have not caught up or have not seen anything about this season and are gonna watch it, if you're watching a dub, I highly suggest you don't watch it. Even though you want to know about it, I would say don't watch this. Just go read the manga. If you don't like reading, doesn't matter. Just go read the manga, because you are not gonna enjoy this. You're not gonna like the pacing. You're not gonna like the sacrifice or the lack thereof of sacrifices. You're not gonna like the ending, because the ending's not even that good. The ending is just these still frames of what happens, and at the end is so anticlimactic. He's like, Phil, you see Phil, see Emma, and Emma's like, hey Phil, we're back, and it ends. Cuts to credits.
Hey Phil.
Yeah, don't bother. Just
yeah.
We can talk about
I'll
this.
definitely recommend that as well.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that. That people should, if you want to have a good experience, especially on this story, or want to learn more about it, just read the original story. Support the artist. He's the one who did all this work, and I feel bad for him, because I bet you, especially for somebody who writes story, who draws a manga, being able to adapt it into an anime, it's a big deal. And now being able to see how his creation or her creation, I don't specify on gender on that, but being able to see that they were able to make a mess must hurt a lot for the mangaka. And I think if people really want to support this, go ahead and read the manga, buy the manga, trying to share that among your friends, so at least you're able to support him in the way that the anime couldn't.
Yep. Go ahead and do that, and let us know what you guys think of this. That if you did watch it, if you did like it, again, if you did like it, I think you're in the minority, but I want to hear why you liked it. If you just think everything fell into place, maybe you like certain aspects of the ending. Some people did like the whole redemption of Mama, for whatever reason, but that's what I want to hear. I want to see where we differ. So let us know in the comments section, and we'll be reading them, and hopefully we get a few from you guys. So yeah, that's we're gonna end the.
And hopefully this is the first and the last. I don't want to see other great stories being into this. I hope this, gets your attention to see like, hey, if there's a mistake, we need to make around. We need to like make noise and trying to make sure people hear it. Maybe they can be able to fix it, But still, I wouldn't want that to happen to any other story, even if I didn't like it or not. But because this is like a creation work, they get paid for it. They sacrifice their time and skills just to present the story, to tell the story, and to be recognized. And it is a shame that they put this like in the garbage bin. And yeah, I just hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. So yeah, and thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share the video, and we'll talk to you guys later. This is David the Smash Fan.
I'm Japodian.
And this is Chewy No Podcast.